And we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mom Show. This is our eighth episode. I am so excited. Tonight is we're going to be featuring Chef Tammy, who is the resident chef for Brunswick, and she is going to be talking about her philosophy on meal prep, meal planning, how that can benefit you as a busy mom. I know we all can benefit from this. But to some extent, there's always a hump that we need to kind of get over in terms of getting into that headspace of meal prep. I mean, even for me, it's but I have to plan this. I have to plan this. That's yet one more thing on the list of things to do. But I figure in this conversation with Chef Tammy, we're gonna learn a few tips, a few tricks, and most certainly she's also going to be demonstrating three incredible quick recipes that we can all enjoy, and certainly that the family can enjoy, because we know we have picky kids, and those kids at home, with them being at home, they're costing us even more money. So with that said, I want to welcome Chef Tammy. Chef Tammy, are you there? Let's go. Hi, Chef Tammy. How are you?
Hi, Anika. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Mom Show. How's it going?
It has been great. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us. So I want to just start because you're a mom and you dropped a bombshell on me when we were talking a little earlier. And you were saying that you are a mom of four boys.
That is correct. That is
Wow.
correct. That's a mouthful all by itself. Can I tell you?
That's a blessing, though. That's
It
a
is.
wonderful
It
blessing.
is. It is. It is.
And
It
I'm sure
doesn't
they love
come
their
extra.
mommy. And I'm sure they love their mommy.
I am certain they do. I'm certain they do.
And I know that we're not going to be showing him, but you have your 16-year-old being your assistant, your sous chef
Yes.
today. So I have
Yes.
to thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, son. Uh, I know he's probably busy working in the background for you. But I want to
Right.
talk to you. So tonight we're talking about meal prep. We're talking about meal planning. Um, how much easier is it? I mean, obviously in theory would say that it's a lot easier to just plan your meals and move through, but I think there might be that hump of having to get into the headspace of planning. How easy is it, or what exactly makes up the meal prep philosophy?
All right. So first of all, let us talk about what is meal planning to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
No, meal planning is any strategy or plan that you actually put in place in order to prepare your meals ahead of time, right?
Right.
So it's literally deciding what to eat before you actually need to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing we want to be clear on. Now, meal planning, it's also designed to take the load off, literally take the
Mm-hmm.
stress off, right? I call it the what to eat saga. And yeah, because literally it is a saga. It's like, okay, what are we going to eat today? Right? And you'll have that thing going on and on and on. And even up to maybe dinner time, you're still not sure what it is
Right.
that you want to eat. And so, what meal planning does, it prepares you for the meals that are coming ahead. It prepares you, it puts you in a place where you're not worried as to what the kids are going to eat. I mean, four boys coming at you to say, Mom, I'm hungry. I mean, you can just understand I'm the only
I mean,
woman
you're
in
an
the house.
expert. Like, I'm sorry, let me just stick up in, because apart from you being a chef, that's one thing. But
Yes,
you being a mom
yes,
of four boys, I think we all
yes.
just need to like, no, you're the expert. Yes, please teach us, oh wise one.
Right. So, like I said, it's just preparing yourself. It's just being ready. It's just
Mhm.
being in the know so that at the end of the day, you don't have to be tearing your head out, wondering where your next meal is going to be coming from or what it is that you're actually going to be preparing for your next meal.
I get you. How does like food bring families closer together? Like, do you have your boys help you in the kitchen any at all, or do we have to like load them up right now?
They do. The two older ones, of course. I sometimes have to put on the mommy hat and say, listen, I need some help.
Yeah.
I tell you though, it is funny because the one that's helping me now,
Mm-hmm.
it was really through him assisting me in the kitchen that I found out that he too wanted to be a chef,
Oh,
right?
nice.
I saw this young man at the age of maybe 14, 15, handling a knife like he was born with a knife in his hand. I was like, but when I was your age, I wasn't doing this. And
Mm,
so what it did, it caused me to ask questions. And so meal planning does open that line of conversation for you to actually, say to your children, what's going on? What's happening with you? What do you like doing? And
mhm,
so for me, that was where it all began. That was where it all started with this particular one. No, my four kids, they're like worlds apart. But it's
mhm,
fascinating how I can get to them through food. It's
mm,
fascinating how when it's mealtime, everybody's on one accord and everybody, is all about the meal. So
mhm,
it does give you that sense that you're in charge and you're doing something right when it comes to mealtime, especially
mhm,
when you have that plan, especially when you have put something in place that everybody can enjoy.
mhm. I love that. I love the conversations that can happen in the kitchen and so forth.
Right.
Um, you just said well, you got four boys in the house. Boys eat a lot more, in my
They
opinion.
absolutely do. They do. They
I don't know
do.
how you manage it, but let's talk about that. Let's talk about like budgeting. How does me, especially like for the little ones who are always snacking, constantly
Right.
snacking. How can we make meal prep be affordable? How can it probably even put more money into the pockets? Like how does budgeting and meal prep come to combine?
All right. So the first thing to understand is that meal planning in and of itself, it saves you time, it saves you money, and it also saves you energy. So we're going to look
Mm-hmm.
at how it saves us on time. Now, when you have a plan, say for example, you have a plan for the entire week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get home, if you're as busy as I am, when you get home, there's absolutely no tearing out your hair as to what to prepare because you
Right.
already have those things on hand. And
Mm-hmm.
so, for me, most times when I get home, even before I change my clothes off, I'm in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, it's literally grab and go. So, if I don't have a plan, if I don't have something pre prepared, then I'm going to be tearing my hair out, or I'm literally, going to be wondering what are we going to eat. So
Right.
that's the first thing. It saves us on time, right? When you talk about money, now one thing with us as Jamaicans, we feel like if it's not rice and peas and chicken, then we're not eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, what we need to understand when it comes to meal planning, it brings into play anything that you can think of. It talks about creativity, it talks about variety, it talks about just a wide spread of what you can do, what you can actually prepare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be boring with your meals, right? You
Yeah.
want them to be healthy, but you also want to be creative. You want to put spin on things so that the children don't feel like, mommy, this again?
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, I had this yesterday or I had this the day before, or why are we having this? Mommy, I don't like this. So to get
Mm-hmm.
that out of your ears, it's really just, make sure that you think about what it is that you really want to prepare. And like we said, make a budget. Make a
Mm-hmm.
budget. It's not just chicken and rice. There's so many other things that are out there, that you can eat, that you can consume, that it's not going to put any weight on your pocket. So think about it.
I mean, we're gonna be demonstrating some lovely recipes tonight, um,
Absolutely.
featuring some Brunswick products. So we have a big demo, proper big
Yes,
up.
yes,
and
yes, yes. And
that
trust
will save
me,
you time, eh?
they are my go-to. They are
There
my
you go.
go-to. They
Well,
save me
that's my
many
next
times.
question. That's my next question for you. What are your three go-to recipes that you make for yourself or your family that it saves you time, prevents you from tearing out the hair? Like, what are your go-tos?
All right. For us, I think one of my without even thinking, it's called a tuna pasta salad. Now, I mean, that literally, you are able to create worlds of flavor with a Brunswick smoke flavored tuna, with some pasta, with some mixed vegetables, with some, nice seasoning, with some mayonnaise, you can even put some fruits in there. You can put nuts in there. You
You get me
understand?
hungry.
And so you're actually building that flavor profile. And at the end of the day, you're having a complete meal. You have your starch, you have your protein, you have your vegetables, you have all that is required in there. So that's one of my go-tos. Then you have a tuna lasagna.
Oh, look,
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
to share this comment from Charlene. She's like salivating over there. And is this Draca? Draca is saying good evening. Good evening, Draca. Where are you viewing from? And where are you viewing from, Charlene? But continue, please, about the tuna lasagna, because I'm getting excited.
Right. So I did an experiment with tuna. Now, the tuna in tomato sauce, and that's the Brunswick tuna in tomato sauce. That's literally mouth watering to die for. No, I'm not just saying that because they are my brand, but I'm telling you, the product that they actually offer, it's one of a kind. No, if you're not a meat person or you're trying to substitute, no, that's a great substitution for your lasagnas. And I found that out by just being creative. No, when I at first my kids were like, "Mommy, you're sure?" I'm like, "No, man, taste it." I'm like,
Of
"No, man,
course.
taste it. It's really good." And I have a little one. He's like 7 years old, and without even saying anything, he's like,
And I know the little ones because I have an
"Yeah,
almost 7-year-old and they're picking.
yes, they're picky." And sometimes he there's no words. You just see put his thumb up, and you know that it's
It's a
all good.
universal signal.
Yes, it's all good. And so at the end of the day, that's like our go-to. And the thing about that, if we do prepare it, it's something that we can have even the next day,
True. I
right? So
wanted
that's
to
the
say,
second one. The third one, can I tell you? Mackerel
yes,
and rice.
of course. I love it. I know because of breadfruit, I'm loving the mackerel with the breadfruit recently.
Look
That's
here,
the go-to right now in the house.
look here. The Brunswick chunky mackerel, it's like awesome. I tell you, they have so much flavor. They have so much quality. It's quality products that you're actually buying into. And
Mhm.
so I have no qualms about, advertising and saying that this is really the best product out there.
Quality.
So those are my go-tos.
Nice, Tammy. Well, now that you've literally like awakened the appetite for all of us, we're going to make y'all even hungrier because Tammy is going to demonstrate a few very quick recipes. So, Tammy, which recipe we're going to be doing first? You let me know.
All right, so we're going to be doing the scalloped sweet potatoes, and that's
Ah,
with the Brunswick chunky mackerel.
okay. So we're gonna go into that view and let's go, Tammy. I'm
All
seeing that
right,
spray
so
bottle. Yes. Okay, there.
first of all, we're just going to be lightly greasing our baking pan
Mhm.
just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And
We
we're
want
going to
the
be
we want
layering.
the can you move the spray bottle a little bit more, Tammy?
Okay,
There we go.
can you
Yes,
see?
perfect. Yes.
All right.
No one can see.
So then for the interest of time, I've already gone ahead and pre-prepared our sweet potatoes. Now, what we did was to simply peel them, slice them about maybe a quarter-inch thick, right? And we immerse them in some boiling water for just about 3 minutes. We didn't want to overcook them because they're already going to go through an additional cooking process when they go into the oven. And
Mm.
so we just, kind of blanch them a little bit. So what we're going to be doing now is layering the bottom part of our baking dish, and we're simply just fitting the sweet potatoes in the bottom of the dish. Don't mind if they're broken because it's like fitting up a puzzle together. It will all fall into place. All right. So we're fitting the sweet potato in the bottom of the dish. After doing so, we're going to be adding just a couple tablespoons of roux. Now a roux is simply butter, flour, and milk, or you can use cooking cream, or you could also use evaporated milk, whichever. I prefer to use evaporated milk because it really does give me a lot of flavor, right? And you simply cream this. So we're going to be adding this now to our potatoes, somewhat layering and smothering the potatoes.
Layering and smothering. Anything with butter is good. You see my size? I love butter.
It makes everything better. All right, so after we have added our roux, we're now going to be adding our Brunswick chunky mackerel that we have already deboned and flaked. So we're simply layering this over the roux. Now understand that at the end of the day, you just want it to spread evenly so that everybody who gets a bite will be tasting the Brunswick chunky mackerel along with all the other ingredients.
And I want you guys to know that these recipes are going to be available for you to download.
Okay. So now that we have layered on our Brunswick chunky mackerel, we're going to be adding some cheese. Now I've gone ahead and I've combined white cheddar cheese along with mozzarella cheese. And you're just going to be sprinkling this over the flaked mackerel. Just be generous with the cheese because cheese makes everything better. And at the end of the day, you just want to be able to make sure that everything is covered.
Poor Charlene. Charlene is really hungry right now.
Now I'm going to be adding, it's a little tomato sauce. What we did was use the residue after we strained the mackerel. We used some of the reserved sauce from the mackerel, along with a little pasta sauce, along with a little ketchup, and some added seasonings, right? Just to make a little sauce, just to add a little flavor to our dish, right? So we're
That
just
is
going
a
to be
brilliant tip, Tammy. I love that idea.
Yes, yes, yes. So at the end of the day, you don't lose out on the flavor and you don't waste anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't waste anything. So I'm going to be adding a little bit more roux on top because I'm getting ready now to place the final layer of sweet potatoes. So I want to make sure that there's something for the sweet potatoes to actually cling itself to. So you just do that generously over the sauce that we just poured on. And now we're going to be adding our final layer of sweet potatoes. And we're just going to be placing them on top. And like I said, sometimes you will do this, and because sweet potatoes are so delicate, sometimes they'll break. Don't worry about the fact that they break. It's like a puzzle. Just put the pieces together.
So Tammy, you know, they're going to come over soon, right?
Of course, of
I'll wear my
course.
mask. I'm wearing my mask.
Darling, I've adopted so many people just because of. All right, so here we have it. We have placed our final layer of sweet potatoes and we're just packing it in just to make sure that it holds, right? And then we're gonna put our final amount of roux on top.
So I'm just letting Tracy know. Tracy was asking what we're making. So that's the recipe, Tracy. Charlene and I were going to run a competition as to who can reach you first, Tammy.
Okay.
And guys, if you notice, Tammy's contact information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you have not saved her information yet, please do so.
All right, so just cleaning up my hands a bit. All right, so now we're going to be adding our final layer of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we said cheese makes everything, absolutely everything better.
Cheese and butter. Mm. And this dish I've ever seen.
All right, so we're just layering that on as well, covering all the surfaces. So we're just going to clean up the sides of our baking tin so that when we're ready for baking, nothing burns, nothing sticks.
Could we get a view of it? Like, could you hold it a little bit to the camera or tilt it so we can see? Oh, nice.
All right, so to that, I'm just going to be adding a little parsley flakes mixed with basil so that when we bake, we can have all that added flavor on top. And there you have it.
Oh, wow. Nice. So how long does that go in the oven for?
Generally, you would bake for the first 30 minutes to 35 minutes, covered with foil, of course, just to make sure that the flavors, seep in and to finish cooking our sweet potatoes. And then for the final 10 to 15 minutes, you'll remove the foil and then allow for the top to lightly brown.
Okay. All right. So you're popping that in the oven now.
That's correct. 1 second.
Here's the recipe, guys. You can take a look. We're going to be making this available to you for download as well, so not to worry. But Tammy, wow, that looked amazing.
So I have here the finished product.
Wow, that was quick.
All right, that's what meal planning does. It makes you prepared.
So fast. That looks lovely.
So here it is. You have your scalloped sweet potatoes with Brunswick chunky mackerel. And I can tell you, from the looks of it, we did well.
Come a little closer to the camera, Tammy. Let me see it. Nice. So Tammy, how long does it serve your family? Because I saw the dish. So like, how long does it serve? Well, you have 4 boys, so that's not going to last
for my family, this is just one go. One go.
One go.
Just one go. So
what would you recommend to reheat it? Sorry, I cut you, but I was wondering, how would you reheat it? How would you recommend reheating that dish?
All right. You have 2 options. You could either place back in the oven covered for around about 10 to 15 minutes, or you can place on the microwave covered over with, you could actually damp a paper towel and just put over it, right? And allow it to reheat for around about, say, 5 minutes.
Okay, I got you. Nice. And that's your family, like that's a one go, one shot for the family.
That's a one go, my dear. One go.
With 4 boys, I can see why that would happen. So what we doing next, Tammy? What's the next dish?
All right, so we're going to be doing our Brunswick breakfast bites.
Okay, so guys, here's number 2. And look how quick that was.
In my bowl, I have just about 10 eggs that we have broken and placed in the bowl. Okay. Right, so now we're going to be whisking, just simply breaking up the egg yolk and allowing a little bit of air to be incorporated in it. So we're literally, just as we're about to make scrambled eggs, same thing you do, it's the same process. So we're whipping our eggs. And to this, we're going to be adding a little bit of salt, black pepper. We're also going to be adding around about 2 tablespoons of chopped bell peppers. And for each addition, you'll just continue to mix just to ensure that everything is added. Then we're going to be adding some shredded spinach. And you just add this according to your liking.
Elusive spinach. It just disappears in the pot when you cook it now.
That's the thing about it. That's the thing about it.
Could we use something else, or you recommend spinach?
Oh, sure. You could use callaloo. You can use the leaves of pak choi. You could also use, if you wanted to add other vegetables, you could. You could chop your broccoli, the leafy part of the broccoli. You could use those. You could also use carrots, or if you wanted to use cauliflower, you could chop those finely and add them to it. So whatever vegetables you have on hand, there's no need to necessarily go out and buy spinach and even if you don't necessarily like spinach, you could add whatever vegetables you have on hand.
Okay, got you.
All right, and to this, we're going to be adding some smoked tuna. That's a Brunswick smoked tuna. I've just added about 1.5 cans.
I can predict that many households are going to have a very adventurous breakfast tomorrow.
Yes. I made some already this morning, and trust me, they're all done. They're all done. All right, now we're going to be adding, cheese makes everything better, right?
Yes, so we have definitely established that one. That's a fact.
So we're going to be adding some shredded mozzarella cheese, as well as some shredded cheddar cheese. And just be generous with the cheese. All right. So we're going to whip this together now, just to combine all the ingredients. All right, so after whisking, we have here a muffin tin that we have lightly greased. And we're simply going to pour the batter in each of these muffin cups. Okay?
Okay. I'm going to put the recipe up on the screen again, guys. We're making breakfast bites.
And it's important to note that your smoked tuna flavor, it adds a whole lot of flavor to this dish. So it comes punching.
Mm.
All right, so you don't want to fold the cups up all the way because you want to leave space so when the egg starts to swell.
So you're filling it up, what, like about a halfway?
Maybe about a little bit more than half, maybe. Oh, maybe almost 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
And we're simply spooning this in. And remember, these can also be pre-done. So you could, for example, this that I have in the container here, you could actually do some and put them up for tomorrow morning. It's all about meal planning.
And then how do you reheat this one?
Well, it's the same process just as you would for the scalloped potatoes. The thing is, you just want to make sure that they're covered, right? So once that they're covered properly, you can put them in the microwave or you can put them back in the oven and just reheat.
Okay, I got you. So is this one is one of your favorites for the boys?
Can I tell you that this one was just a creation? I would generally make this one with meat. So it would be ham or something like that. But then in trying to be creative, I came up with this recipe. And I found that it was also really accepted. It was really loved by the younger ones too. So we're just cleaning up the pan. All right, so we're going to be popping this into the oven. And this takes approximately 20-25 minutes just to set.
Okay, so 20-25 minutes.
All right, 1 second.
All right, and that's the recipe. That's the second recipe, guys. So Tammy, tell us about number 3.
All right, so number 3, they're called tostones. Now it's a tuna canapé, and we're going to be using the tostones as our base. Now I know everybody's wondering, what is a tostone?
Yeah, what's a tostones?
It's simply just green plantains that we have fried to a crisp. I have them here.
Let me go to that camera. Here we go.
Right? So in the interest of time, we have already gone ahead and we have pre-prepared our tostones. So they are already fried. I can run you through the process. They're simply cut. It's the same green plantains, and we cut them in 1-inch pieces, and we allow them to fry for just maybe about 15 minutes or so, right? Having the pot covered just to ensure that they are steamed through properly, right?
Okay.
After being steamed through, we remove them from the oil and we simply use a potato crusher, or if you don't mind using your hand, you could actually just use the inside of your palm just to press down on the green plantain. And that's basically it. Pop them back in the oil, crisp them up a bit, and here you have it.
Got you. So it's almost like a fritter.
It's almost like a fritter, just like your regular green plantains.
Yeah. I'm putting up the recipe.
All right, so we're going to be adding to that, to top these off, we're going to be adding a tuna canapé. So I'm going to be walking you through as to how we do the canapé. All right, so here we have our Brunswick flake tuna. This was the one that is just in regular water. So it's flake tuna in water that we drained.
Oh, not really seeing, Tammy. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it.
Okay. So we just drained this. To this, we're going to be adding some chopped onions.
Was that 1 tin or 2 tins of tuna?
Well, this is actually 2.
Okay.
All right. So this is 2 cans of tuna that we have drained, and we have added some chopped onions. We're now going to be adding just a little bit of bell pepper, maybe about a tablespoon. And we're going to be adding just a little bit of salt to that, along with a little black pepper. And we're going to be mixing this together. After which we're going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise.
Would you recommend any use of any of the other flavored tunas for this, or you prefer the tuna with
You
from the water.
you can. These go. The thing about a tostone, it can be topped with anything, any
Okay.
flavor. So you can use tuna. You could even use sardines. You can use even mackerel. It doesn't matter. Anything of your liking. Anything of your liking can be used to top the tostones.
And this one we are featuring the tuna flaked in water.
That's correct.
Okay, and the recipe is on the screen, guys. And everything you've shown tonight so far has been super quick.
Exactly. But that's what I'm telling you. These are like no-brainers. It takes no time. It takes no effort. And as long as you have the ingredients on hand, it's a 1, 2, 3, literally. All right, so I'm just gonna be, can you see me?
Yes, like if we can move the plate a little bit away from the camera. There we go.
All right, so let me top these first and then I'll show you what they look like
Okay,
afterwards.
perfect. Okay. And this is so much healthier too with the
It
plantain.
is. It is. Because generally you're thinking, when it comes to tuna, you're thinking about a sandwich or you're thinking about
Exactly.
crackers or
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking about, putting it on some kind of bread. But for this, it's so different. It's so creative. It's so, not the norm. You have guests over and, you could just pop these out.
And you're
Literally.
fancy. Toasted.
Literally. 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 And they'll be like, what is this? What are you having? And you're like, girl, it's just tuna.
No, you say it's an exotic fish.
You know? All right, so here we have it. Let me give
Yes,
you a
we need
piece.
to see it at an angle.
Just a second. Let me fix my dish. All right. Ooh. Let me see if I can move it in a bit.
Oh,
How's
that's
that?
nice. That is lovely.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Guys, what are you thinking? We're getting some nice feedback. Lisa is loving it. Is this Romando? I mean, you've excited quite a lot of people across the Caribbean. Charlene loves the planting.
So there
Nice.
you have it.
Do we had? Oh, I don't know if we had missed it. Do we have a finished version of the bites?
Actually, we do. Just a second. Let me get that for you.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can help you with the camera. Are you
Oh,
seeing it?
that's nice. Yes. Yes, we didn't get to see that one. And it's so quick. This was what, 20 minutes in the oven you had said, right?
20 minutes.
And maybe less than 10 minutes to prep.
Absolutely. We're saving on time here.
Lovely. Lovely, guys. Are there any questions for Chef Tammy? Please let us know in the comments. I want to thank you so much, Chef Tammy. It has been lovely.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
And if anybody has any questions for Chef Tammy, you can definitely reach out to her. Her contact information is scrolling at the bottom. Chef Tammy has been catering for what, 10 years?
Approximately.
About 10 years. And please reach out to her. She's the Brunswick family resident, everybody chef. And I mean, with 4 boys at home, you are more than qualified, ma'am. But I really want to thank you for the demonstration tonight. It has been mind-blowing, especially that trick with the tomato sauce from the mackerel and incorporating it into the actual, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna try that this weekend. But thank you so much, Tammy. I really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you for
to every
having me, Anika.
oh wait, hold on. Someone wants to know, are you available for private events? Of course she is.
Of course.
Please reach out to her. Simone is asking for a friend, several friends, in fact. Tammy, thank you so much. I want to just show the recipes one more time on screen for everyone to see. And
You
you
could also
guys,
have a look at. Would you like to
oh
look at the
yes,
dishes again?
yes, we want to look at them one more time. Uh-oh, we lost you.
Yes, you lost me on that one.
I lost you on that one. Uh-oh. No worries. You're gonna reconnecting on that side?
Yes, just a
Okay.
second.
Let me just let me put up the recipes in the meantime. So tonight we featured the chunky mackerel scallop sweet potatoes. That looked absolutely lovely. And here we go. Chef. Ooh, had to mute. Let me go full screen here. Okay, so the scallop sweet potatoes with chunky mackerel.
That's this one here.
Oh, that's that one. I think Lisa and somebody and I were competing over this dish. And then the egg, the breakfast bites.
That's this one.
Nice. And they're all so quick and so easy to reheat. And then the tostones.
That's it.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Thank you so much, Chef Tammy.
Thank you so much for having me, Anika. It was my pleasure being with you tonight.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I also want to announce that we have our upcoming mom show this weekend featuring Latina Mata out of Trinidad and Tobago. She is a growth mindset coach, and we are going to be talking about mindset and momentum. But tonight, once again, I want to thank Chef Tammy for joining us. Empowered Empress wants to find out if you are on Instagram, Tammy. Are you located on Instagram?
Yes, I
And
am. You can find me at Beckford's Catering.
Beckford's
And that's on
Catering,
IG.
guys. Okay, wave. Bye, bye, Tammy. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Bye, guys.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we will make these recipes available to you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, guys. Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome, Anika. Bye-bye.